Welcome back, everyone. In this video we are going to start taking a look at image stamps. So there are a few different ways that we can get images applied to our content via layouts. First is by calling on a typical graphics file such as a JPEG or PNG file that we have stored in our shared config graphics location. And the other method is by calling on a specific page from a PDF file, where we're going to pull an image out of that to display via our layout. Typically, when you're working with standard graphics files like JPEGs, they're going to reside, like I said, in the graphics folder. And when you're dealing with PDF files, typically those will be stored in the PDFs folder, both of which reside in shared config. Now, when we're working with image stamps within the layouts, these also have several attributes, just like the other elements we've worked with, and just like the other elements, you have seen many of these attributes already. So with an image stamp, we can specify width and height. Those are fairly straightforward. And then positioning, box, side, X and Y, we've all seen before. And these attributes work exactly the same with an image stamp as they did with the barcode stamps and text stamps. Now, a couple new attributes that we have with image stamps are crop and center. And basically, crop allows you to specify a value of true or false, and that says if the image that we are trying to place via our layout is larger than the width and height that we've defined for the box to store it in, then we're going to crop the image to make it fit. Now, if crop is set to false, then we're going to scale the image to fit the box that you've specified. And the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to scaling is we're always going to maintain the aspect ratio. Now, with center, we're basically going to center the image that you are specifying in the box that you have defined. The image path specifies the location to the image file, or it's going to specify the path to the PDF that we're going to use. Now, when your image path points to a PDF file, that requires the use of this other attribute called page number, which is going to specify the page in that PDF to pull the image from. Rotation and stamp range you've already seen, and those work exactly the same for an image stamp as they do the other stamps. And then we have this attribute auto rotate degrees. And as the name implies, this is going to automatically rotate the image if the aspect ratio of the image doesn't match the aspect ratio of the box you have defined. So an example there would be if we've defined a width and height that is essentially a portrait where the width is narrower than the height, and we are trying to bring in an image that is wider than it is tall in a landscape orientation, if auto rotate degrees has been defined, then we're going to rotate that image to fit the box. Typical values for auto rotate degrees are going to be 90 or 270, depending upon which way you need that image to rotate. And the last attribute can be very handy. It is fail on missing. And essentially what that means is that if a layout calls on an image file and that image file cannot be found for whatever reason, you can have the system either fail, and let's say that this is a layout that we are executing at pre-batch that would result in the pre-batch failing, or you can set this to false, which basically says, hey, let's go ahead and get the content generated and produce the output even though we didn't successfully load this image. So up next, we are going to go ahead and add an image to our output, and we're going to do this via an image file that I have located in my shared config graphics folder. So that's about all I have for this video, and I will see you in the next one.